Okay, so let's go ahead and do all the odd numbered questions first. So I'm going to add, so I'm adding my 2x and my 4x, and I get a 6x and a 3y and a 9y gives me a 12y. So I get 6x plus 12y. Here I'm going to subtract, so I must distribute my negative sign all the way through. So I have a 5a plus 9b minus 2a minus 4b. Again, most commonly made mistake is to not distribute that negative into your last term. Okay, so now I get a 7a minus, just kidding, 5 plus 5b. So 7a plus 5b. And then here I have an m squared, so I have 1m squared. I have 2m squareds, so I have a 2m squared here. And then a negative m and a 2m, so that gives me a positive 1m. So I have 2m squared plus m. And then I'm going to go here and I'm going to distribute my negative again. So I have d squared minus d plus 5 minus 2d minus 5. Combine my like terms, so I have I have a d squared minus 3d, and then my positive 5 and my negative 5 cancel out, so I get 0 there. So d squared minus 3d. And then I have addition again, so I have a 5f and a negative 2f gives me 3f's. No g's by himself, and then I have a negative 2 and a positive 3, which gives me 1. So 3f plus g plus 1. And then here, again, addition, so I have, a 2c squared and a 5c squared gives me a 7c squared, and then a 6c is by himself. And then I have a 4 and a negative 7, which gives me a negative 3. So 7c squared plus 6c minus 3. And then I'm going to have my negative sign again. I'm going to distribute that all the way through. So I get 3c cubed minus c plus 11 minus c squared minus 2c minus 8. So I have 3c cubed. There's no other c cubes. And then I have no other c squared, so negative c squared. I have a 1c and a negative 2c, which gives me negative 3c, and then an 11 and an 8, which gives me a positive 3. So 3c cubed minus c squared minus 3c plus 3. Okay, and then, again, subtraction. So just distribute my negative all the way through. So 2x minus 2y plus 1 minus 3y minus 4x. So I have 1x and a negative 4x gives me a negative 2x. And then a negative 2y and a negative 3y gives me a negative 5y, and then a positive 1. So negative 2x minus 5y, negative 2x minus 5y plus 1. And again, addition, so I have an x squared y here and a negative 2x squared y there. So that gives me a negative x squared y. I have no x's by itself, so I have a negative 3x squared. And then I have a regular y and a 3y, which gives me 4y. So negative x squared y minus 3x squared plus 4y. And then here with 19, distribute my negative sign all the way through. So I have 5n minus 2p squared plus 2np minus 4p squared minus 4n. So now I have a negative 6p squared. And then I have a 5n and a negative 4n, which gives me 1n. And then a plus 2np. So negative 6p squared plus n plus 2np. Okay, and then going here, I have some addition all the way through. So, okay, I have an x, I have another x, I have another x. So I have 4x minus 2x gives me no x's. Then I have a 2y and a 5y and a negative 3y. So that gives me 7y minus 3y gives me a 4y. And then a negative 6z plus 7z gives me 1z. And then 1z minus 9z gives me a negative 8z. So 4y minus 8z. Okay. And then here, I'm going to distribute my negative all the way through. So distribute, distribute, distribute. So I have 3c squared minus 7 plus 4c plus 7 minus c squared minus 5c plus 8. So I have 3c squared minus 1c squared gives me 2c squared. And then I have a 4c and a negative 5c, which gives me negative 1c. And then negative 7 plus 7 gives me 0, and then plus 8, so that gives me 8. So 2c squared minus c plus 8. And then that's it for this lesson.